What's cracklin', everybody? Welcome back once again to the definitive cereal tier list, where each episode we take a cereal, put it on the tier list, so you know how good it is. I'm your host, Tucker. In this episode, we're going to be doing Kashi Go Cinnamon Crisp. We did a number of Kashi Go's before this, of course starting with Kashi Go Original, which should get a D, just kind of weird three pieces. I've talked about it a bunch. But then we did Kashi Go Crunch, Chocolate Crunch, Peanut Butter Crunch, and Honey Almond Flax Crunch. All of those got a C. Swapped out weird pieces for clusters, had good flavor going on, good crunch, pretty good time overall. Now this one is crisp, which I don't know what the difference between crisp and crunch is. Like looking at just the box, looks pretty similar. So that doesn't seem like a huge change. But then also, this is cinnamon crisp, and Kashi Go Crunch was also cinnamon flavored, but that was touch of cinnamon. This is warm cinnamon. So really, this is going to be a comparison between touch and warm and crisp and crunch. But let's just open it up, see what this is like. Okay. Oh. Okay, that's definitely pretty strong, warm cinnamon smell. And this does look different. Okay. I now understand. Okay, you can kind of tell that. So it seems like the difference is with the crunches, you had clusters, which are still present here, and you had the little, like, what are they called? Crisp, little fluffy pieces. But in this one, you're having the sort of longer, not the long ones from original, but sort of like the little rectangles, which wasn't, that was my bottom piece of the original three pieces. So let's see how that changes here. Puff, that's the word I was thinking of. Little puffs. Okay. Okay, first off, bring down with the cinnamon flavor. I'm enjoying that. Also, I get why it's not crunch. This was not nearly as crunchy as the crunches were. You're still getting a bit in there because there are still the clusters. It's just nowhere near as sort of dominant. Dominant as that was. It's not bad. The more rectangular, sort of sometimes long pieces, I'm just going to call crisps. So you got clusters, crisps. I think still I would put below the puffs from the original. And I'm noticing that here I'm reminded of those same sort of things I preferred for the puff over this, where this one, as it has begun the sogfication process, not done yet, but you know, it started, they get like a sort of almost weird squishiness to them, and not super into that. I prefer just the puffs, just kind of become nothing. The squishy stage, not great. But then also, you are getting a slightly stronger base flavor from them, and it's not the normal just like oat or corn or whatever. It's, you know, Kashi's whole deal, plant-based proteins and all that. So it stands out a bit more. So I think if you took like the flavor of this and the more distinct like cluster and piece from Kashi Go Crunch, combine them, I think you'd be pretty good. As it is now, I think it's just kind of comparable, bit of improvements, bit not improvements. All right, our milk has got a cinnamon look here, and let's see what the taste is like. It's pretty good. Again, I think the warm cinnamon definitely the strongest part of this, so that seems to be carrying to the milk as well. Yeah, it's a good time. I approve of this. Yummy stuff. Now, I think remembering Kashi Go Crunch. It's normal crunch. I think the cinnamon was a bit weaker there too because touch versus this whole warm thing. So I think the milk here does beat Kashi Go Crunch. I've been trying to come up with something to say that uses the word flow in it, but all I've got is that, oh, it has flow on it because the milk tastes real good. So, sorry. So as I've probably made apparent, I think the taste is easily the strongest part of this. The sort of warm cinnamon flavor, I was just very into, both on the pieces and the milk. I just think it worked very well. So all around, good time taste-wise here. But the pieces here, I think, were noticeably weaker than the pieces that you get in Kashi Go Crunch, just kind of ignoring Kashi Go Original because that's its own thing. The clusters here, I think, still pretty solid. Like, all right, cool, cluster, enjoying that. But the crunch ones obviously had a lot more crunch to them, and I think that was a bit better. Like, I think these two pieces are a bit closer together than comparing what I'm calling the crisp pieces with just the little puffs. Because the little puffs, kind of ignorable, just extra stuff that's there. And I don't know, they don't do the thing that the crisps do here, where they really get sagified and completely sort of change the texture of your bite. And the other ones, the clusters were just had so much crunch going on that was sort of your main focal point, and that was just under a side thing. But here, I think because it's slightly less crunchy in the clusters, the squishiness becomes much more apparent and sort of overtakes it a bit. So that didn't quite work out well for these. So what I'm going to do is give Kashi Go Cinnamon Crisp a C. Same rank as Kashi Go Crunch, which I don't think should be surprising. I think, again, piece is better there, but tastes a little better here, so kind of up and down. I think overall, I might still put this below the 4 Kashi Go Crunches. Still a C, but lower. It's really just the taste that's I wish had been in one of the others. If the taste hadn't been here, I think if it had been a weaker cinnamon taste, it might have just been like a high D, maybe lower C, like sort of more on the line. But the taste, I think, really saved it here to get it right behind Kashi Go Crunch. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and in the comments below, post your general thoughts. Let me know if you've tried Kashi Go Cinnamon Crisp, and if you've also tried Kashi Go Crunch, and you can compare the clusters and cinnamon taste going on there, you can let me know. Or if you're just someone who thinks this crisp line far better than the crunch line, and I'm foolish for putting this below the crunches, you can let me know about that. But until next time, stay delicious.